I was very active on this sub a few years back and decided to check it out briefly again. Not because I want to get back into this world, but more so out of curiosity. I hadn't planned on ever posting again, but after reading for a while, I felt sympathy for the many women posting on here who are getting strung along, ghosted, or are dealing with a hot-cold AP. While I was cheating on my wife, I'm mid-40s, been married about 20 years, I was treating my APs quite similarly to how many of you are being treated. Coming on strong in the beginning, making promises I had no intention of keeping, telling these women what I thought they wanted to hear so I could get what I wanted from them. Attention, flattery, and of course sex. Going cold often due to intermittent guilt, and then eventually slow fading and ghosting when I found someone new or just got bored. Looking back, I feel complete shame for my behavior. I was caught a couple years back and almost lost my wife and family forever. At the time, I was a complete selfish piece of shit. I was drinking too much, had a gambling addiction, and was using these women the same way I used pretty much everyone in my life. The cheating was just another one of my addictions. I lied my ass off to get what I wanted. Pretended I was in a DB, that my wife was a cold-hearted bitch, that she didn't pay any attention to me. The truth was, the disconnection in my marriage was 100% on me, and deep down I knew that, even though I wouldn't admit it to myself or the women I took advantage of. After getting caught, my world crashed around me, and I finally had to take a long, hard look in the mirror at the man who had caused all this devastation out of cowardice and selfishness. I've since gotten completely sober, stopped gambling, and have been in therapy, individual as well as marriage counseling, since in order to become a better person who would stop hurting anyone who cared about me. My childhood trauma was no excuse for the pain I caused, and every day the people I hurt have to live with what I did. I can't take any of it back, but I am filled with remorse now that I see things clearly. For all the women on here who have been hurt or are currently being hurt by a dickhead like me, or are being strung along with false promises, please tell him to kindly fuck off and block him. If he's treating you this way, he really only cares about himself and absolutely does not have your best interests at heart. I lied to my wife every day for years and honestly didn't think twice about lying to an AP if I thought it would benefit me. I didn't even respect myself or my wife, so certainly didn't respect the women I used, and justified it to myself by telling myself, they're cheaters like me, plus they know I'm married, so they're probably lying too. I convinced myself they weren't deserving of consideration or honesty. I was a very good liar, but eventually it all caught up with me when a woman I had strung along told my wife the truth. I threw her under the bus at first, but now I know I deserved what I got. I know I will likely get bashed on here, but I'm hoping this post may help at least a couple people realize that most of us cheating married men are full of shit, and that when someone shows you what they're capable of, you should take heed, and not kid yourself that he will treat you with more love and respect than he treats his wife. My wife and I are still together, but it's been a long, difficult road, and I have many years ahead of me to attempt to make up for what I put her through. She was literally suicidal when she found out the truth, and I'll never forgive myself for doing that to her. She may never forgive me either, and I may ultimately lose her, which will devastate me, but that would just be a consequence of the shitty choices I made. I will have to live with it and accept it the same way she has had to live with what I've done. Anyway, I wish you all well, and hope you all can find what you're looking for. Sorry if this post has upset anyone, as I know what I did was horrible, so if anyone throws hate my way, I deserve it.